Well, hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of Women Like Me Stories in Business. Today I have a super interesting lady, and we're going to dive into her story in a minute. But first, I want to tell you a little bit about her. So, her name is Monica Hernandez, and she is an engineer, an entrepreneur, a podcast host and an advocate for women across the STEM and entrepreneurial spaces. From facing the challenges of becoming a newcomer in a foreign land to founding Infinity Growth, her journey is a testament to the power of resilience and the spirit of an endless learning growth. Despite encountering discrimination, harassment, and health setbacks, her unwavering determination enabled her to break free from unpaid jobs and establish a company where everyone is valued equally. So, Monica, thank you so much for being here. Sorry, I stumbled a little bit there. I can't
No
even read my
problem.
can't read my own handwriting. So
Julie,
welcome to the podcast. Thank you for being here.
Julie, thank you so much for having me, and thank you to everyone that is listening to this episode.
Perfect. So, do you want to tell us anything else about yourself before we get started? Anything interesting? Anything you want to share?
Was a lot said, so I guess people will discover more about me when we dive into.
Okay, perfect. So let's start off by let me start with your origin story. So why did you decide to launch your own engineering consulting firm?
Um, so Julie, when I was in corporate, I have been at that point probably 17 years in my career as engineer, and I climbed up the ladder. And in many cases, I was the only one in the room, or the first one in the room, or the first one and only one in the room. And there was a lot of things that when you're climbing the ladder, you think it will be different. So probably when I climb and I am in a managerial position, I'll be able to be equally paid, or I will get these things. And it doesn't really happen that way. For me, it didn't. So I was tired of asking things from outside and then not getting it. And then it's just the little drop that really got me realizing that I could do something different was I had this position. I was hiring for a position and I had a female and a male candidate, both equally qualified, same kind of um, education and progression in their careers. The guy asked for, I'm gonna give you a number, $100, and then she asked for $80. So when I extended the offers, they told me you're gonna offer 80 to her and 100 to him. And I said it's not fair because they're gonna be doing the same job. They have the same qualifications. I want to give them 100 both. And the answer was she only asked for 80. And I'm like, this is not fair. So that day I realized, Julie, that regardless of my intentions of do things in the right way, there was someone above me taking decisions for me to do the wrong thing. And
Mm.
that day I decided to resign. And then I started preparing myself to launch Infinity Growth. And then that's where I said, if there is no place that is going to give equally pay for men and women, or equally, or an environment that is going to help them thrive,
Yeah.
I will create it. And that's why I created.
Well, good for you. And yeah, that would be very hard to watch happening because you're right. I mean, I agree as well. If whoever can do the job should get paid whatever the job pays,
Yeah.
whatever that is, regardless of what they said that they would take for that job. I don't know. It just yeah, it doesn't seem fair at all. Do you find that women tend to ask less than men?
Absolutely.
And why do you think we do that?
I think because we have always been told that doing different is kind of disruptive, and you always want to play the good girl. And then it was my case. For example, I had many mentors in my earliest stages of career, and they always taught me to become someone that I wasn't,
Mm,
and to fit in a mold that it wasn't meant for me. But that's how the industry treats women in engineering, at least, and that is my personal experience. Is they've always told me you need to fit, you need to do this so you can blend, you need to do this so you can fit,
mm,
and that paints a picture of like, okay, I need to blend. And so we are always, instead of realizing how we are as a whole already, then we're trying to fit into a mold that is not ours.
I
And then
see.
that makes us think that demanding for less is the best way of getting in. Or we don't have someone that tells us, you know what, it's fine to ask for that because that is your worth.
Yes.
It's fine to fight for that promotion because you totally can do it.
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
other piece of that is that in my case, for example, there was always someone that made me feel that that wasn't my place. So I had to over and over demonstrate that I won that place, that I worked for that place, that I've deserved to be there. So that I think that's the other component.
I agree 100% what you said about that we've been sort of taught that we have to figure out how we fit in,
Yeah,
which definitely would make us ask for less money, less benefits, uh, do the workload that's thrown on us, and of course end up burning out before our time. What
absolutely.
is now you belong to an organization called STEM. So, and I had to look that up because I hadn't heard about it before. So, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. What is that?
So STEM is the area. So just like you described, engineers, mathematicians, technology scientists, we all belong to STEM. Uh,
Oh, I see. So
yeah,
that's your organization.
it's not an organization.
Oh,
It's just like the work that we belong to. And it's
like an
like
association.
not
Not
really.
even that. No.
No, it's like STEM is just like us, let's say, a psychologist, they belong
Okay.
to
Yeah.
psychology.
Yeah.
So people in technology and science and math, they do work in STEM.
I
So
see.
yeah,
Okay.
but I
And
do.
and then I looked up another one that you belong to, which is We Do.
Yeah.
Now we do. I heard that, or I read that it's been around for 30 years or something. So I'm just shocked that I just when I was doing some research, I'm like, I've never heard of We Do.
I
I just
know.
I just thought that was so strange that I hadn't heard of it. And it's Women's Environment and Development Organization. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
So it's Women in Entrepreneurial Day. And then what we do is we come together and put up a summit for women in entrepreneurship to be together in the same room. And then it's amazing because whatever, like I say this all the time, sometimes you work in things day in and out, and for you are so natural, but a lot of other people haven't heard about it. So Widow is one example. And I started volunteering with them probably only this year. And is going to be the first time that we have a summit in Vancouver.
Oh,
So they
nice.
have had summits in other provinces, Montreal, Calgary, Ontario, you name it.
Yeah.
But it's the first time we're doing it in Vancouver. And it's everyone that I speak about it is like, oh, this is so cool. And so it's nothing more than it's a summit to celebrate women in entrepreneurship. And in this case, it will be half a day. And then we're going to be in the room with panelists and other entrepreneurs and then investors and things like that. So it will be a good opportunity for networking and then learning things.
Nice.
This year theme is Invest in Her,
Ah,
which is very amazing,
yeah.
like with all the environment that we are living in.
Yes.
So yeah, that's pretty much what it is, the summit for
Yeah.
this year. And I
Yeah.
am the leader of the Vancouver team. I have a good team with me working to put it together. So everyone that is interested in going, just let me know.
Yeah. Perfect. Wonderful. And when is that? When is it going to be?
November 18th.
November 18th. Okay, perfect. Well, maybe we can put that in the details section when we're done. And
Cool.
so for anybody that might want to be interested in going. So so why do you do what you do? It seems like you have a passion for, I don't want to say the underdog, but for discrimination. And you said even in your comments about that you've been discriminated against.
I think that there is a lot of value in every one of us. And I think there are people that don't recognize that. And then for some reason, it takes some time for us to recognize it ourselves. And until we recognize how awesome we are, nobody else is going to.
Why do you think we don't recognize that?
Because we haven't been told. We've been told to be, you know, the good girl.
The good girl.
And
Yeah.
don't reply back and just do your job and be the best wife and be the awesome mom. And then what are your needs is never there on the table.
Right.
And so we get a lot of that is in there. So I think the more that you have a support system that tells you how good you are at things, and it doesn't have to be, you don't have to do the Nobel Prize or whatever, discover the next atom or whatever it is, but you can be just awesome in a way that is good for society. And if you have people around you that are telling you that this is really good, then it's a ripple effect, because then you're feeling fulfilled and then you bring people with you that. So I really believe, Julie, that the more that we come out of our ways and then we bring everyone together, that's where magic happens, because then we all bring up and we go up together rather than in silos, rather
Yes.
than me being here and trying to push the guy that is here. If we're all going, it's easier than if we are not. And it's a passion of mine. Why? Because I've been there. I
Hmm.
was there in the rooms. I was there like I was pregnant and I was the only female in my team. So I couldn't turn around to someone and say, hey, is this normal that I want just to sleep every time? Is this normal that I want to throw up at 3 p.m.? It's like,
Yeah.
they have no idea. They're like
Yes.
guys, right? So they
Yes.
don't get pregnant and so whatever. So for whatever reason, I was in many situations where I didn't have anyone to turn back at and ask.
Mm. I guess in a male dominated industry, that would make it very hard.
It's certainly it's different than, I guess, working with other, like a more mixed geographic
Yes.
than not. Or like
Yes.
going up in, I had this conversation this morning, going up into offshore facilities. Well, the first times that I went, no bathroom for women. So it's like
Ah,
finding ways of going to bathrooms. But then after I went, and there were no baskets in the, so no in the bathroom there were no baskets. And then so when I brought it up, it's like, why do you need baskets for? And it's like, okay, every month we need to put sanitary products.
yes. Yes.
So if there are no baskets and I don't want to flush it through the toilet because this
Yes.
thing is going to flood, then I need to take it, wrap it up, and go find a washroom somewhere, or a basket, or a garbage
Yes.
to deposit.
Ah,
And it's not that they're bad or they want us to be
No.
suffer or discriminate. It's just they don't use tampons.
Right. Right.
That's it.
Yeah, and so they're not thinking, okay, we're going to bring now have females in our industry and in our workplaces. What what is different about that? And of course, I can see them go just carrying on, just their merry way, not even considering the effects that that would have on females coming into the workplace.
And it's not that they, again, it's not that they purposely did it. Is and they all have wives and moms and sisters, so they all know about menstruation. It's just
Yes.
it never occurred to them that what happens to that.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Yes, which is understandable for sure. Yeah. But
Absolutely.
it does make it difficult when you're in that environment as a
Absolutely.
female. Yeah.
Absolutely. So then
Yeah.
you'll have to, it's it's becoming more like we are more vocal about it, and we are more, it's thank you to the previous generation, oh my god, that had to do so many things for us. And I
Yeah.
hope that the next generation will have it even easier
Yes.
because of the work that we have done. So that's the whole point.
I find that we are, and I completely agree about the past generation, and they did what they could for us. I do feel, though, that we have become, our generation has become a lot more aware over the last 10, 15 years. And I think we've also become more to value ourselves. And I can see it now in, I have a 26-year-old daughter, 23-year-old daughter. I see it in them. I see that they value themselves, and I see it more and more. And it excites me because we each generation should be building for the next generation.
Mhm.
And I think that I see that happening,
I
at least in my realm, right? I mean, I'm not out there in the whole entire world, but certainly from what I'm seeing, it is, we're doing some good.
I think so too. I completely agree. And I think that I read a quote the other day, and it was something like, we are the generation that is healing what while like preparing the next generation. So we are kind of in the middle of the process of, like you said, how can we make it better and then leave it better for them. So it's like you've interviewed my son Lucas, and how is that we can really break patterns and make things better as a mom.
Yes.
It really excites me. It's like, oh
Yes.
my God, what is going to be the next? So his kids, if I did this with everything, the baggage and all that, like how can this be for the next? Like I love it. It
Yes.
is.
Yes, absolutely. And I think and you had said something earlier, which I think is really important, that we put ourselves first. And so many people think that that's being selfish. Well, what do you mean? I've got kids, I've got this, I've got that. But if we don't put ourselves first for ourselves, then we're no good to anyone else. We're going to
Mhm.
die young, we burn out, we might be bitter, all of those kinds of things. And we treat people we teach people how to treat us.
Mhm.
And so I think that it's just so important that we're able to show that we value ourselves and we value our lives and our needs and our wants, as well as still caring and loving the people that are around us. But everybody's important.
It is.
Yeah, I remember my mom. She never had new clothes. She and my grandmother as well. I remember they were, I'm not sure of the word I'm trying to look for, but they certainly didn't put themselves first.
And it happens like in our culture from Latin America. The mom is the last one to eat, is the last one to get the gift, if ever gets a gift. Is the last one to, they don't go to the salon, they just buy the dyeing thing in the pharmacy. So it's, and one thing that every time that I'm doing a keynote speech and I'm speaking with a group of women, one of the biggest things that I have said, and a lot of people don't realize it, is like, how do you like your kid to be treated? Like you treated them? And everyone is like, yeah, of course. They are not going to treat themselves like you treated them. They're going to treat themselves like you treated yourself.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes.
And it is when you realize that, is like, and then you just said it. My mom didn't have clothes. Mine either. Like I
Yeah.
remember like putting, uh, I don't know, my money aside to give her a gift at Christmas, and it's always, I don't know, the most simpler things like underwear or
Yes.
it's like new bras, which is like, hell, why? Like you should be able to be okay with the state that you are at, and then if you need a mental break for whatever reason, just be able to voice it, and then
Yes.
people respect that, and then that way you come back to be your best version.
Yes. Yeah. And if you're your best version, then not only will you be able to teach that, but it exudes from you.
Mhm.
And so it definitely goes down the line. It definitely helps other people. What about, you mentioned the Latino ladies, because of course you came from Colombia, is that correct?
Correct.
Yes. So how is it there with and you read one of our books, so you have a bit of an idea of what it is that the women like me is up to. What is it like for the Latino ladies? Do they live in, is do they live in a lot of silence? We tend to have things happen to us, zip it, maybe never talk about it, push it down, don't deal with it. Is that the same in that culture as well?
Absolutely.
It is. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then I will say some in some regions more than others, but definitely there is taboo things that we don't speak about
Mhm.
even today, which is interesting. Like how not open are we to just say, "Man, I just screwed up."
Yes.
Have you gone through the same thing? Like, what did you do? Just to reach out, to have someone giving you their experience. It's not that I will go through life going by what other people have gone through, but it's just to have another point of reference and then seeing things from a different perspective. And maybe their problem is not them, because it's always like other people's problem, right? But maybe it's something within you. Like maybe you should just take your time and then take a bath, or go for a walk in nature or meditate, whatever it is that works for you, and then come back to it later. And then
Yeah.
just hearing that from someone is a nice thing, instead of just putting it in your head, sip it up, because it's never going to get just there. You'll get into your body and then you'll get sick.
Yes. Yeah. It's I always believed and still do that we can only stuff so much inside. Eventually, as we age, it's going to want to come out. And if you don't deal with it, it comes out in illnesses in other ways.
Absolutely. And I have the podcast for a while now, and I have spoken with women and men from many different countries. And I have come to the realization that we are not so different. That if we are struggling with something, the guys are struggling also. And they don't speak about it. And then they come home, and then there is tension, and then many things happen, rather than having a safe place to,
Yeah.
like this, that, like what you're doing is so important. And the first time I met you, I voiced that out. It's like your mission in life is so important, because we have a safe space to just have a conversation, and that the power in that, it's incredible.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that. I have a new book that's going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks, and one of the writers in that book, uh, she belongs to a networking group, and I was actually at that networking group recently, and she wasn't there. And the leader of the group said to me, "Oh, I've spoke with so and so, and she said that the process of writing her story and getting all of that out." she's she just feels so much better, and she's in her 60s, and
Mm.
she's been carrying it around since she was in her teens.
Wow.
And I think that sometimes we act certain ways, we get into different some habits that aren't necessarily the most healthiest, and a lot of that is just trying to keep that secret stuff down there that we don't want to talk about.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then we become a persona that is trying so hard to keep it all together, to be, the superwoman, the super wife, the super mom, the super leader, the super whatever, and you can't. That's
Yes.
just, that's just not happening. You can do anything, but not everything.
Yeah, we're just human beings like everybody
Mhm.
else.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love that. We can do lots of things, but not everything.
And definitely not at the same time.
No. No, no. Yeah. I think that it's some I belong to a few networking groups, and I just recently started going about a year and a half ago. And what I find is exactly what you were saying, is that women need a place where they can share and know that they're not going to be judged and know that they'll be supported. And
Mhm.
so in these groups, we have a mastermind, if someone has something they want to talk about. And it doesn't have to be business, it can even be personal. So if they're
Mhm.
having a problem with a child, or they're having a problem with a neighbor, or they're having a problem with their spouse, and it's just so wonderful to see when someone gets enough courage to share that, and then all of the women around them who support them, and they're not saying, "Oh, I throw that beep 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 to the curb." Like, none of that kind of stuff's going on. It's supportive and loving, and lots of really great advice.
And that is just feeling yourself listened to. It has so much power. Like, even if I come and say, Julie, you know what, I'm going through some really rough stuff, and you just sit down and listen to me, that in itself is already like super huge.
Yes, yeah, for sure. And the other thing I find too is that as we get things out and we start to discuss, our brains actually, it's like there's space. Oh, look, there's space to think, because that's
Mhm.
not there anymore.
Mhm.
And then we actually start to get some healthier ideas on what we can do, and how to care for ourselves and take care of situations that might be not the best for us, or to help other people in our family and our friends as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
we need to get that. We need to get so much of that stuff out of our heads and our hearts, and yeah, and we just carry so much emotion in our bodies, and you can see it. Someone you don't know. I love watching people you don't know. You see them, and you see them walking, and you can go, yeah, that person, oh, that
Mhm.
person. You
Mhm.
can The way they carry themselves.
Absolutely. It's energy, right? So you perceive
Yes,
that.
yeah, yeah,
It's
for sure.
really perceivable.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, Monica, I have a few questions that I like to ask my podcast guests, and I'm wondering if you would allow me to do that, just
Of
to
course.
get to know you a little bit better.
Of course. Go for it.
Okay, okay. So, if you could travel anywhere in the world tomorrow, where would you go, and why would you go there?
Oh, that's an interesting question. Tomorrow, I'll go anywhere by a beach. So anywhere that gets me to a sandy, warm water beach.
Yeah, yeah.
And why I feel so calm when I'm by the ocean. Many of the safe spaces that I create for myself on meditation or whatever are related to the ocean. So
Ah,
that'll be it. it. So it's not a specific place, but just anywhere that has a sandy, warm beach.
Beautiful. I've heard, and I don't know if it's true, but um, water is emotion.
Mhm.
So if you're feeling stressed out, just head down to the beach and say, "Here you go, beach. Take it, take it, take it, ocean."
Absolutely. And we
Yeah.
are 80 or 70 or whatever many percent water. So
Yes.
being by the water, being a being made of water will regulate things
Yes.
really
Yeah.
easier.
Yeah. What about a favorite book? Do you have a favorite book that helps you or has helped you in your life?
Julie, I think books or songs or podcasts or anything that comes your way is what you need to hear or see or at that specific moment. So I have many favorites because it's never the same. You're not the same person. I was in a panel the other day, and then my co-panelist, she said, we all go through different seasons in life. And that was so beautiful. And it's true. We
Yeah.
go through different seasons. I don't have a 3-year old and requiring my attention all the time. I have different state of as a business owner, other things that I had when I was at the corporate. It's different all the seasons that you're going through. So I have had many books. I love reading, so I have many books that I love. And right now, I just finished reading yours.
Ah,
So that was amazing, really, really, really good. And as simple as and as cheesy as it can sound, Lucas's book, When I Am Stressed, because it's so little, I go and read it. Although I helped him type it, I helped him proofreading. I have read it, I
yes.
don't know how many times. If I have a stressful situation or I'm feeling building up something, I open it up and in any page and I read that and I get the message that I need in a very simple way.
Yes.
So
Yes.
there are many.
It's a beautiful book. So if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, her son Lucas wrote, I can't remember the name.
The light within.
Oh, yes, yes. And it's a beautiful, beautiful book. And he's only 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the insight that this young fellow has, oh boy, I'm going to make sure that his book is also in the detail section so people can check it out if they'd like to as well. But fabulous book. What about a favorite quote, Monica? Do you have a favorite quote that you like?
Oh, I have many. You're making me do tough decisions here. I'll give you two.
Okay.
The first one is, we come to this earth to learn. And that was, I came up with that one day. And the behind of that is, so often we take we have to take a decision, for example, and the weight of the decision, if we do this, if we do that, like, what if you take that away and just take the decision, then it's already gone. You take the weight away of right or wrong. Like, I'm
Yeah.
gonna screw my life if I immigrate to Egypt. It
Yes.
won't. I came here 25, knowing no one, having zero, and I'm here creating jobs for Canadians. Like, it's like you will be okay. So taking the weight away of a right or wrong and just taking it as a learning has
Yeah.
helped me a lot. So I
Ah,
love that. We come to this earth to learn and then
yeah.
to pass on the learnings, and that's why I do everything that I do. The second quote that I love and that I read when I was in a very dark moment, um, it's Kate Bowler. I think that's how you pronounce her name. She's a Canadian author. She lives in US, and in one of her books she says, life is beautiful and life is hard, and one doesn't cancel the other.
Oh my goodness, that is a good one.
And behind that is, like, we all try to live in this I don't know, bubble that everything has to be good all the time, and it doesn't.
No.
And even if it's, I have come to a realization that even the things that are not good or feel like pain things that happen to us happen for a teaching moment that is going to serve us at some point.
Yes. Oh, I love that one. That is fabulous. So, what about dinner? If you could have any woman in history and you could sit down with her for dinner, who would that woman be?
It will be, I'm gonna get here a guess. It will be Anna. Anna was the grandmother of Jesus.
Oh.
And there is a good book about her. Called
Oh.
Anna, the grandmother of Jesus.
Wow. And so and why her? What would you hope to learn or in what insights would you hope to get or what questions would you ask?
Oh my God. I think I would love to understand how did she go through that whole journey of learning and then understanding exactly who she was and then not intervening into what it was supposed to be
Yeah.
the fate of someone is, like having that complete clear understanding that this is what I meant to be.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Beautiful. And my last question is if you could whisper something in the ear of every woman out there who's struggling right now, what would you whisper?
Believe in yourself.
Oh, I got shivers on that one. Absolutely. So important. Believe in yourself.
Because there is a lot of people that won't. But if you do, it doesn't matter what other people think.
Yeah. Yeah. That's beautiful. Wow. Well, Monica, I have just really enjoyed our conversation, and you're so insightful, and I appreciate your sharing your wisdom with us and being here. I appreciate it so much. So, everyone, just to let you know, I will have all of Monica's detailed in the show details section, as well as we're going to make sure her son Lucas's book is there. Spectacular, spectacular book. I've read it twice myself. It's great. So we'll have all of that there. So Monica, in closing, is there anything that you would like to share?
No, other than my gratitude for you, for the work that you do, for, I know myself what is it to be doing podcasts and all the technical work that goes behind. It's a huge thing, and then you do it in a way that is so beautiful. So thank you for allowing women like me to be there.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Well, everyone, we're done for this episode. So we will see you again on the next episode of Women Like Me. Take care.